Aquarius, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. All right, first card that we have out is Four of Cups and Three of Pentacles. You may be feeling a bit tired right now. Four of Cups is a time when you can feel like you need to recover emotionally from something, especially with this card. Like sometimes with the Four of Cups, it can look like wanting to turn something down. This one feels more like being a bit out of it. See this person, it's like feeling kind of down, feeling like wanting to stabilize in some way emotionally, because fours are connected with stability. And so there may be something that you feel like, a place that you want to be within your feelings. It can be like emotionally, it can be within the heart space, anything that has to do with like your senses, stuff that you pick up on. So something that you want to stabilize. Generally with this card, it can feel like there's somewhere that I want to be or something that I want to feel. I don't necessarily feel like that's it for me right now. So whether this just be like how you're feeling generally, or it has to do with something that's being presented to you, that's sort of the vibe. So this can be a call to tend to yourself emotionally in some way. And having Three of Pentacles here can be that there may be somebody that you're working with, but you could more so be focused on working with this part of yourself that maybe isn't like feeling how you want to be feeling right now. When I say that, it feels more like I think that I could be feeling better, or you could be feeling like you're struggling right now with something. Or you could even just be working with this part of yourself that maybe isn't how you prefer to be feeling. And you're like, how do I still work with this part of myself though? And maybe it's not even about changing it. Maybe it's about accepting that and seeing what you can do with it as it is. There could also be a focus on like recovering too emotionally. Maybe you feel like you need a bit of a break. You could also feel like you need help with something. This Three of Pentacles, I see it as being a card of support. Like you see how this person is standing here and he's holding this thing, but you see these arms over here, but they're not in the frame. You can be doing something where you're like getting some type of support or help, and it can have to do with like mood regulation or with your feelings, but cups can also have to do with your senses too. So this can be like I want to heighten my creativity, or I want to heighten my intuition, or I want to heighten my empathy, or I want to get more in touch with like, you know, something. So there can be help that you're getting with that, or like support that you're getting with that, to sort of even like maybe break yourself out of this. Or again, just work with it as it is. But you may find that support is beneficial at this point. And it doesn't have to be support from a person. It can be support from like something that you're reading or something that you're getting in touch with that's inspiring for you. Can definitely be a person or people. It can be a guide. It can be like really anything that you feel like is gonna benefit you. But specifically focus on like working with this aspect of yourself currently. I'm seeing Three of Wands come out. This may be something that you're going to tend to, something that you've been tending to. Eight of Cups. Maybe in order to work with this, you feel like there's something that you don't want to be doing anymore. That can be a key part of this. You could feel like, on a feeling level, something isn't working for you. But maybe you're also feeling a little bit, I don't know, the way that I'm seeing this energy come through, Three of Wands can be connected sort of with where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do, and it can be like what you feel like is meant to be next. And it can also be your plans like for the future, or like what you're trying to do in like a even like a long-term sense, where it's not just like what are my plans for tomorrow, it's like 6 months down the line, what are my plans, or like where am I hoping to be. And having Eight of Cups here can be like, maybe you're thinking about that, maybe you're questioning that and being like, is that actually really what I want? Like, is that something that's going to be fulfilling for me? Is that something that's going to be like satisfying? Do I feel like on an internal level that that's aligned with what I'm doing? And so you may be editing your short-term plans now to be more reflective of your long-term plans, as far as being more reflective of like where you are, maybe like feeling wise or emotionally, because we have all these cups here. Something that's especially going to feel the way you want it to feel on the inside, rather than just being like, externally I have this to show, but then on an internal level being like, but nothing really in here, you know? So there may be more of a focus on what's going on internally for you. That doesn't mean to throw all your external stuff away. It means that you may be putting more of a spotlight or more of a focus on what's going on internally for you. Yeah, I'm seeing like you could have had some type of like future plans or long-term plans that now that you're evaluating this, being like, why would I want to do that? It's like one of those moments where you could have had like a different thing motivating you, but now you feel like you don't have that internal motivation as far as whatever this was. And you may be like, yeah, I did have plans to do it, but I feel like it's not congruent internally now. Having Page of Wands looks like you're going to be finding something else that you would rather be doing. This is like a path that you could even feel like your original plan, you were finding that there was some type of resistance that like wasn't working. For some of you, this could have been a collaboration. You could have been working with someone, or there could have been like another person or like other energies involved in this, and you could have gotten to a point where you were like, you could have felt like you were the only one. You see how this person is struggling over here, and it's like there's a lot of stuff. And also too, like this person has a rope, and it's like, who has that one and who has that one? And you could feel like you're doing something all on your own, and maybe that it would have been easier if there were like a sense of collaboration, but you could feel like this was something where it would have worked if maybe it was a team effort. But now at this point you could be feeling like, looking around, like I'm the only one that's doing this here. And it may be something where you're like, why would I continue doing that when I don't feel like it's sort of giving me this experience that I'm wanting to experience, and one that would feel like emotionally gratifying in some way. So whatever that was, you could have felt like, I wanted this to be a group effort in some way, or I was looking for a particular type of support. I didn't feel like I had that. And you could have felt like it should have come at a time when maybe you were struggling with something, and then you felt like it wasn't really there, or like something didn't come together maybe in the way that you needed it to, or the way that you preferred it to, the way that you wanted it to. And you looked at that and you were like, I don't really think that this is the thing for me right now. And what I'm seeing you moving towards is something that you'd prefer to be doing, something that you'd rather be doing. I'm seeing wood grain here. So this is a path that you would feel excited to pursue. So this is something where you would be like, this is resonating with me much more now. Yeah, I do get this again. You could have been in a situation where it was, you thought that it was supposed to be like a team effort, and that could have even been the agreement, but then you could have felt like, I'm the only one doing the work. And then been like, this really, it feels like this could have even been like a repeated thing. Someone could have also been feeling out of it as well. Like, yes, this Four of Cups can be you, but this Four of Cups can also be somebody where you were trying to like work together with something, and it just like was not, it wasn't resonating. There's not really a better word to say that. Like something was not congruent. It wasn't working with sort of like where you were, especially feeling wise, and like where maybe this other person or these other people were, that you felt like you needed this type of, it's not even you only needing support, it's like all of us are supposed to be doing this thing together, and if I'm the only one doing that, like why do we even have this going on in the first place? So 8 of Cups is you getting to a point. Some of you, this can even be with your coworkers. It can really be any type of situation where it's not just supposed to be one person doing the work, and you feel with this 3 of Wands, it's like, I can't continue to do this. Like, I feel like if it's going to be like this in the future too, this is not something that I want. And so it looks like you're switching over to something that you'd rather be doing. So you go from feeling like this, like look at that person. Like this is feeling indisposed in some type of way. Having this Page of Wands, look at how joyful and happy this person is. Just running around having a good time. So it seems like you're leaving a situation that was feeling like leaving you wanting here, especially emotionally. So this means that you could have had somebody physically showing up, but then you felt like they weren't emotionally showing up. Like there's something specifically about supposed to be working together like on an emotional level, or even needing like emotional presence, you know, or like energetic presence, and feeling like you weren't getting that. Could also have been feeling like a lack of effort as well. So having Page of Wands over here, it looks like there's something else that may have like caught your eye, or you're catching some type of wind where you're like, oh, I feel like I'm being called that way, or being like pushed that way, or pulled that way, or whatever. So I'm seeing that you have something going on over here, but it feels like it's happening only after you may have realized that something that you had been doing within this situation, like it may not be working out in the way that you initially thought that it might when you first took this on. This new path that you're going to be taking, I'm seeing things are going to move very, very, very quickly. So the initial situation that you're in, you could have felt like you weren't really getting anywhere, and that like the pieces weren't really working together the way that they were supposed to, this new thing that you're doing. And this is something that, whatever this new thing is that you're doing, it's something that feels exciting to you in some way, or it feels interesting, or it feels intriguing. It's something that holds your attention because it's resonating with you in that way, in an inspired type of way. And I'm seeing things are going to move very quickly because of that. See how now we're shifting over to Wands? Wands has to do with your life force. That's your fire energy. So this is like, what do I want to put my passion into? Or what feels exciting to me? Or what feels like creative to me? It's those types of things where it's a path that you're going to walk down, that you want to put your energy into that. That it's something that like in that way you want to merge with energetically. And because of doing something that's really lighting you up, it moves very quickly too. 8 of Wands is moving like very, very quickly, even faster than this may normally happen. But it's because of being really lit up. So energetically, because it's something that's really resonating and like high vibrational, it moves very quickly. And you could feel like it's the opposite of this other situation that you'd been in. And that may be telling for you too about the importance of checking in with what's resonating with you emotionally, versus when you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling stuck and also feeling drained too, because it feels like that's also how you were feeling at the beginning of this. Feels like a byproduct of being in a situation that's like not actually resonating with you on an internal level, regardless of whatever else is going on. This feels more balanced to you. You may feel like it's easier in this in this new situation, in this next situation, I'm seeing it feel easier, like it's feeling more, I'm hearing harmonic. You could feel like it's more harmonious and like there's more of a sense of balance, and maybe there's not an up and down the way that whatever was going on before. Some of you just felt like really down because of it. You could have been feeling kind of depressed as well, some of you, or just like not yourself. There could have been a feeling of just like feeling out of touch, or like a lack of inspiration, or like a lack of color in things and what you were experiencing. With this new path that you're on over here, to have justice feels like things are much more balanced and much more aligned. And I'm even like the color gradient shift in this next situation, it's a lot lighter. Before, it could have felt like the energy was sort of pulling you down, or it was heavier. Like more dense. There can be fears that you're experiencing about walking away from this situation. However, you may feel like that's like really what needs to be done here, because you know something's not resonating with you anymore. But there can be, okay, 8 of Cups is, I'm recognizing that I'm not getting what I need from this, especially on an internal level, and so I'm not going to stick around for that. But having 9 of Swords here can be like, but that idea is just terrifying to me. Like that notion is, it's bringing up a lot of stuff for me that maybe I had even been avoiding, and that's why I've been staying within this. But in order for you to connect with what you truly feel passionate about, or what you feel like is more aligned with like how you want to be spending your time and like a more preferable situation, it's necessary to do this. But you could feel like you've sort of been sitting around and not taking action. Only out of fear with 9 of Swords here. So it may be a good time to address what that is for you and why this is coming up. Also too, just because we have Libra here, this can be needing to address something or confront something and having a difficult time doing that. Just because we have 9 of Swords next to Justice, so I'm thinking like when we connect with that shadow side of Libra, it can be like, I want to keep the peace, and so like I'm really going to suffer, but I'm not going to confront it, because then maybe other people are going to have a problem, or other people are going to disagree, and I don't want to cause waves. But then feeling like something is wrong, because in the essence of like what Libra is connected with, which remember, all of us have Libra within our charts, it's wanting things to genuinely feel harmonious. And if we're faking things and it just looks harmonious on the surface, but it doesn't in a deeper way, then we're going to suffer because of that. And it looks like something like that is going on here. So something really needs to be addressed, in hopes of things not being like this later down the line. Some of you may even be able to salvage a situation if you were just willing to address what's going on here. Yeah, addressing something now may really be the way to go about this, whether you stay in this situation or you move to something else. But this can also be, if you're staying in the same situation, you may be changing what's going on like mechanically and energetically to turn it into, to like transmute it in a way where it becomes aligned with sort of like what you're looking for and what you feel like you need. So 8 of Cups doesn't have to be like, I'm abandoning this situation completely. Sometimes it is like that, but other times it can be like, are there things that I can do or not do because they're aligned or not aligned in order to shift this situation into something that feels more connected with what I want to be experiencing? Which is going to allow you to sort of come around. But it feels like maybe facing your fear with something, like regardless of of how this ends up. Are you willing to sort of give this a shot and address what needs to be addressed? Or are you going to stay feeling how you're feeling and just feel like you're shutting down more and more and more? Because I'm getting you being in a spot like having Four of Cups be connected with Nine of Swords in this way. Four of Cups is you being in a spot where you're like, I'm not like feeling myself right now, because Four of Cups is not really feeling super in touch. It can even feel like this is too much right now, but then also I feel like I'm not even feeling things as much, like I could be a little bit dissociated, could be things like that. And what may be blocking you from addressing that could be, well, the thing that I would have to do to get out of this space or get out of this slump would be facing something that I actually feel terrified of facing. And so I almost feel like I'm not willing to do anything now because I don't want to face that. So it feels like coming around to address what this is and getting clear on that for yourself. Like, what are you afraid of? What's worst case scenario? What's best case scenario? And really figuring that out. And having just Libra be the only card here, the archetype of Libra may be very helpful and insightful as far as archetypal theme that you could be experiencing within this situation. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.